Not in our town. That is the battle cry for many against a methadone clinic. The latest round tonight from Monument.
You've seen the wild weather video, cars tossed around by the power of the flash flood. Tonight, some new video of drivers in trouble.
And new tonight, the after effects under the roads. This sinkhole opened up under one road. Wait till you hear how deep this one is.
Now, with 11 minutes of non-stop news and your no-wait weather, KKTV 11 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Diane Derby.
And I'm Don Ward. We're glad you're with us. We want to get straight to our 11 breaking weather alert and meteorologist Emily Rowland.
Emily, I know there are storms out there right now. Where are they?
Yeah, we're still keeping our eye on storms. One particular line of storms that has been bringing some heavy rain to areas tracking to the south and to the east. So it's clearing the Pueblo area now. The Springs still well clear of that rain. If we take a little bit of a closer view on that, you can see around Colorado Springs, things are definitely in the clear. And as we head around Pueblo, still tracking a few showers in that direction. Around Canyon City, a little bit of rain falling there as well with scattered storms out in the higher terrain. Now, as we head through the rest of the night, these storms will come to an end, but how soon? I'll take you through that hour-by-hour forecast and another stormy day ahead tomorrow, going over that flash flood threat in just a few minutes in your no-wait weather. Dawn and Diane.
We'll talk to you soon, Emily. Thanks. Now, this is new at 10. There is a giant sinkhole that crews are watching closely right now in Colorado Springs. It opened up after the storms left the city.
We're told a City Streets employee was driving on his day off when he felt a dip in the road. So he called it in. A short time later, that sinkhole just opened up.
Good thing he knew what that dip meant. Underneath the sinkhole, there are sewer lines, water lines, and gas lines.
And we're told utilities is working to divert those tonight. 11 News reporter Lisa Chin is live tonight near Fillmore and I-25 on Chestnut. Elisa, you talked to the Streets Department. So what did you find out tonight?
Don, Diane, they tell me this sinkhole behind me goes down 50 feet at least. Just look at that. The hole is big enough to swallow an entire car. But this wasn't the only spot hit hard by today's storms. Check out this wild video of cars being pushed into each other and forced down the street by water and mud. Shot by Kelsey Holla. It's been shared more than 19,000 times on our Facebook page. That's her husband, Ryan, standing in front of their home. This is the incredible video he got. Just watch as this dangerous, fast-moving storm pushes cars backward. We know at least one of them had a driver inside.
I was very scared for her. We weren't as worried about just the cars, but it was scary watching her floating down the street in her car.
This is Stone Ridge Drive off of Flying W Ranch Road on the west side of Colorado Springs.
It went from just a little bit more than the gutter to the whole street a river.
A little later and just down the street, the aftermath from the storm. Boulders in the middle of the road, mud and rocks everywhere. Neighbors forced to break out their snow shovels to get the job done.
It was hailing real hard, and then we noticed the water rising quickly, and it was sidewalk to sidewalk and bringing all kinds of debris down.
Neighbors say they're glad no one was injured, but tomorrow cleanup will continue for several parts of southern Colorado. Back out here live at this sinkhole, crews remain here working overnight. I'm told the road will likely be closed for several weeks. Now, the city is telling us that there is another area of concern just about 5 miles east of here near Academy and Maysland on Radiant Drive. There is a potential for another sinkhole, so crews are in that area just checking it out and making sure nothing happens there. Live in Colorado Springs, Elisa Chin, KKTV 11 News.
So much happening tonight. Elisa, thanks so much.
Some more amazing video. We want to show you this if you have not seen it, and it's video you should show your kids. That's a calm creek. It's about to be anything but, though. It demonstrates the dangers of playing in ditches. All that sludge and debris from the burn scar just suddenly, in an instant, fills up the creek. It only takes seconds. Matt Loy shared this video of Camp Creek. You know where that is, right along 31st Street in Colorado Springs on the west side.
Clearly, it gives us an understanding as residents that we need to be prepared for flash flooding at any time in our community, and that's a good example.
News even teamed up with the city of Colorado Springs for that Ditch Playing in Ditches campaign. for that very reason, but rarely do we get to show you exactly how quickly that can become dangerous. So if you want to see the video again or show it to your kids, go to KKTV.com. A scare in Manitou Springs as the emergency sirens went off. Streets were shut down. Some families had to evacuate. The floodwaters there receded eventually. Then it was this time for the cleanup. Some visitors from Florida told us they were in for an eye-opener.
And when we saw the car, we couldn't believe our eyes, what we saw. It was just totally, you know, all kinds of stuff, debris, all, you know, under the car. The water went right over top of the car, into the engine.
One of the spots that was really hard hit in Manitou was Creekside Cafe. The owner told us the water came through like a wall. The restaurant had to close for the rest of the day. Hopes that they'll reopen again tomorrow. That is the plan anyway.
And this weekend marked 2 years since damaging flash floods in Manitou. Homes and businesses were left full of mud and debris. And you remember this on Highway 24. Canyon Avenue and Manitou Avenue looked like rivers when the water rushed through. 3 people were hurt in the flooding back then. There was some major flooding on the east side of the Springs this afternoon. This is at Constitution and Alpine. Nora Ward shared this picture with us, and you can see AMR ambulance crews rescuing a stranded woman out of her car.
The floodwater is doing some damage in the Mountain Shadows neighborhood as well. This is the Alpine Autism Center. It's on Fieldstone Road, and they told us that about 18 students and 40 staff members were inside when the water came rushing in too.
Flood, mud, water, debris damage throughout this structure.
Again, we're able to tell you that nobody was hurt there either. A nearby retention pond had overflowed. That caused the flooding there this afternoon.
Well, so many of you helped us tell the story today by sharing your pictures and your video with us.
We always appreciate that. We want to share some of it with you now. Tony sent us this video from Pueblo. This is right at Northern and Wabash. Look at that. The water was just standing in the streets after the storms dumped heavy rain in Pueblo. That happened after the storms hit the Springs. And
more video tonight coming in from Pueblo. Casey shared this video. This is from Garwood Drive. It's on the south side of the city. And Casey tells us they were calling it Garwood River this afternoon instead.
Here's some video from Colorado Springs. This is North Powers between Constitution and Palmer Park. Powers was just a mess. For anyone who was driving on it, you know that. The powerful storms left all that standing water covering the roadway.
And the water was also rushing at Constitution and Circle in the Springs. It kind of looked like a bit of water rapids for the time there. We want to thank Tatiana for sending in that video.
Get out the kayak. And what a sight this is. Take a look. All that hail. Ruthie shared this photo. This is at 30th and Garden of the Gods on the west side of Colorado Springs. The snow shovels, even the heavy equipment, all brought in to clear off the roads.
And take a look at this, some crazy video into our newsroom from viewer Adam Work. This is at the corner of Mount Vernon and Tweed Streets near Palmer Park and Union in the Springs. And I talked to Adam tonight, and he tells me his neighbors warned the driver not to drive through it, but he did it anyway, and firefighters actually ended up having to rescue him.
We always love it when you report with us. You do such a great job. We can always count on Southern Colorado. You can share your pictures and your video on our Facebook page. Just search for KKTV 11 News. Give us a like while you're there and share whatever you can. We will sometimes put it on the air.
And we'll have Emily's forecast coming up. Senator Cory Gardner just happened to be in town touring the Waldo Canyon burn scar and areas of flooding concerns. He said a lot of work has been done, but he says there has to be a policy change at the federal level where we can get money for fires in the aftermath, like the flooding that follows.
To see how we can do a better job of stopping the debris flow, protecting the public, and making sure that we're helping the environment in the process.
Senator Gardner said he is concerned because the state is using fire mitigation money from the U.S. Forest Service to deal with the aftermath of disasters instead of preventing them.
This is Near at 10, a new development tonight in the fight to stop the plans for a controversial methadone clinic in Monument. Right now, there's a meeting going on. It's been going on all night long. That methadone clinic is set to be put in downtown Monument, across the street from a park. Methadone is used to treat addicts of heroin and painkillers. Neighbors are worried about it going up in their area tonight. A committee is deciding if any zoning rules were broken in this plan. No matter what's decided tonight, the fight will go on to one more step at least, and we will keep you posted.
We just checked, and this man, Deshaun Lipscomb, remains in jail. He's facing attempted murder charges. Here's some video from the scene following the shooting. Lipscomb is accused of shooting another man several times last week at the 4U Motel. The victim is still in serious condition tonight. And this is new tonight. The Pueblo County Jail, it's just falling apart. That's according to one sheriff's office, and the sheriff wants to ask voters to pass a 1-cent sales tax to fix it. Pueblo County Sheriff Kirk Taylor asked county commissioners today to consider putting the issue on the ballot. If voters pass it, it's 1 penny for every dollar spent.
Happening tomorrow, the City Council in the Springs will decide how that sales tax issue will go on the ballot. This would be a 0.62 tax to help fix the roads in Colorado Springs. Today, the mayor introduced how the issue would be worded for voters.
The purpose of today was to give the council some background on the issues, let them ask any questions they might have of city staff, so that tomorrow at the public hearing, the majority of the time can be devoted to citizen comment.
As we've reported, this is the worst pothole season the city of Colorado Springs has seen. You know it. You've driven all over them. We'll be at the city council meeting tomorrow. We'll let you know what happens there. 11 minutes of nonstop news continues now with this. Police say they are looking for people who recently had their garages broken into, or maybe their cars. They say after they arrested a suspect, they have stolen property they want to return to its owners. 32-year-old Cole Simmons is behind bars tonight. Police say he would break into unlocked cars and open garages in the Peregrine neighborhood in northwest Colorado Springs. If you had any of your items stolen, get in touch with Springs Police. Maybe they've got some of them.
This is new tonight. We checked in with police about human remains found at a construction site in Woodland Park. They tell us they sent over the dental records to the coroner. Police say they do hope to have the person identified in the next month. Fort Carson soldiers wrapped up some training in Kuwait. We want to show you some pictures of them shooting live rounds. The 3rd Armored Brigade Combat Team was part of the 3-week-long exercise.
It is time now to return to our 11th breaking weather alert and the meteorologist Emily Roller.
So, Em, how much rain did we see?
Yeah, many areas picking up nearly 2 inches through the day today, and a lot of this rain fell in a really short period of time. Look what we saw earlier this afternoon, causing all those problems around the Springs. Upper Williams Canyon, right above Manitou Springs, 2.5 inches this afternoon. Really, that's a 24-hour total, but most of that falling this afternoon. Academy and Uinta over 1.5 inches, and Austin Bluffs and Union nearly 1 inch of rain fell throughout the afternoon. Now, a lot of you asking on Facebook, well, where does this put us as far as our records go? Well, we're already in that number 10 spot, and totals as of 6 o'clock around the Springs bring us up to 21.91 inches, and we'll likely make it to that number 9 spot by the time we get to the day tomorrow, thanks to more rain on the way. Now, during the overnight hours, we're tracking these storms mainly falling out to the east and the south of Colorado Springs and around Pueblo. As we head through the overnight, this is going to start to wind down. There will be a few pockets of heavy rain embedded in this, but I don't think flash flooding is going to be a concern. If you get caught underneath an area of heavy rain, more likely a flood advisory could be issued during the overnight hours just due to the saturated soil that we already see out there today. Now, heading out the door tomorrow morning, you're likely going to want to grab that umbrella. We have more rain on the way as we head through the afternoon, and even as you step out the door tomorrow morning, thick cloud cover going to be out there. Could see a few areas of light drizzle. That's going to come to an end by the late morning hours. In fact, we'll see a bit more sunshine working by about 10 o'clock, continuing to about noon. Then once we get to noon, we'll see those storms start to fire back up, mainly out to the west of I-25 and along some of our southern counties, taking a bit of a wider view once we get to noon on our Tuesday. You can see some of that scattered storm activity. It starts to ramp up as we head into the mid-afternoon, starting to build around Trinidad and into the Pikes Peak region by about 3 o'clock. Temperatures tomorrow, they're going to be on the cool side. 77 for the Springs, 70 in Woodland Park, and low 80s tomorrow afternoon in Fountain. Dealing with scattered storms mainly west of I-25 around Pueblo, with temperatures there into the 80s. The southern I-25 corridor picking up on the most rain by 3 o'clock. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and the southeastern plains. A cooler day than average. Highs around 88 for the La Junta area, 86 for Lamar, with scattered storms in the area. Storms continue during the afternoon hours and into the evening. Again, pockets of heavy rain will be possible along the I-25 corridor. We'll be keeping a close eye on area burn scars. Urban flooding also going to be a possibility. You can see here our rainfall totals. Anywhere from 1 inch around the Springs, 1/4 inch around Pueblo, with near 1/2 inch some locations in the eastern plains. Going to be very dependent on where we see those thunderstorms. So again, you'll want to stay weather aware with us on top of the forecast as that concern for flash flooding does remain high. Now, each and every afternoon this week, that chance for storms in the forecast, with temperatures returning to the 80s as we head through the middle of the week and into the weekend. And as we move through the weekend, Pueblo, Wednesday, the driest day this week, a return to the 90s, and then we keep that chance for storms in the forecast each and every day this week, keeping our eye on Sunday for that next possibility of widespread heavy rain. So you want to stick with us on the forecast over the next several days. Dawn and Diane?
Well, all right, Emily, thank you.
Well, one woman in Colorado has rabbit fever, and you've got to hear the unusual way she got it. Coming up on 11 News, what she told the doctors.
But first, we've shown you the video of toxic waste in a Colorado river.
I cannot shower. I cannot cook.
What the EPA is saying about health concerns tonight, and what the governor is doing about this mess.